Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing the Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Last time we started our adventure by going inside the Great Deku Tree in Kokiri Forest, and then left our home in order to pay a visit to Princess Zelda over in Hyrule Castle. And now our goal is set to retrieve the 2 remaining spiritual stones before the evil Ganondorf can get his claws on them. Oh boy, I am really excited to begin this stream and very excited to continue this series because this is a very awesome game and I'm just really excited to get to play this again. Oh boy. So this stream session is going to be a bit interesting. I mainly want to dedicate this session to exploring a few areas of Hyrule, getting to know some of the locals, and getting to better understand a lot of the areas that are going to be pretty important across our journey. And then maybe if we have some time, we'll see if we can continue the main story. But for now, the first main area I wanted to check out in this game is over here. So in the center of Hyrule Field is an area we heard a great deal about when we first arrived in the Hyrule Castle town. So this little area over here, I'm going to try rolling to this tree here. We can pick up some rupees, which is very good. But let us go into this place proper. Welcome to Lon Lon Ranch. Don't ask me why we have a very rural American settlement all the way here in this medieval fantasy world. But Lon Lon Ranch definitely has a lot of nice sights to see. We got some horses prancing about. Definitely something you couldn't get in video games in the past. Just this big old corral. We get a lot of farm life. And of course we have an old friend that we met all the way back at the castle town. Oh, it's the fairy boy again. I heard that you found my dad. How'd you like the castle? Did you see the princess? Dad came home in a hurry after you found him. Oh yeah, I have to introduce you to my friend, fairy boy. She's this horse. Her name is Epona. Isn't she cute? It's quite a cute little filly there. Definitely like the red, orange, and white color scheme going on there. She doesn't seem to particularly like us that much. It seems like Epona's afraid of you, fairy boy. Yeah, seems like it. My mother composed this song. Isn't it nice? Let's sing together. So I like that Malon is singing along to the music in this ranch. Definitely gives it a very nice feel to it. So we can't exactly sing, but we do have something musically themed. Oh, cute ocarina. Are you going to play this song with that ocarina? Okay, this is the song. So we're able to learn a song from Malon, just like we learned one from Impa in the last session. There's going to be a running theme throughout this game where we're going to be learning various songs to play on our ocarina. Many of which have a lot of different feels. You've learned Epona's song. And of course, all the songs have a lot of different uses to them. And they're going to be very important. Oh, even Kaipora decided to visit. Aw, look at that! Epona's now nuzzling up to us. Ain't she a cutie? Oh, Epona! She's grown fond of you, fairy boy. That she has. She will no longer be wary of us when we play Epona's song near her. But that is pretty much all we can do in Malon and Epona for now at the ranch. Whoa, almost got trampled there. So there is quite a bit more we can see around here. Before we head around to the stables and the farmhouse, wanted to check around here for anything. So I believe we roll into this tree. That causes a gold Skulltula to pop out. So that should be the 6th spider we have killed at this point. Very good. We'll definitely want that for our kill count when it comes to the spiders. There's a couple more gold Skulltulas that can be found around Lon Lon Ranch. However, they only show up at night, and some of them we're not going to be able to get until we get some more equipment. So we're going to hold off on that for the time being. Meanwhile, I want to head over here to this little storage silo, all the way in the southwestern corner of the ranch. Because over here, got some cows over here, but we also have these milk crates. Very similar to the ones we saw back at Hyrule Castle. Want to just move these around here. While we're taking care of this, thought I would kind of talk about some stuff that has been going on, since I really didn't have enough time to do so in the last session, just because I'm so focused on explaining a lot of stuff during the introductory portion of the game. Actually, we are just done the crates here, so guess we can save that discussion for a little bit later. So it's kind of hard to notice, but there is a small space we can squeeze into past the milk crates. And over in this little chamber here, we have a new item to collect. You got a piece of heart. Collect 4 pieces total to get another heart container. More containers means more life energy. So yeah, along with the heart containers that we pick up from defeating bosses, we can also acquire pieces of heart in order to extend our life force. There are a total of 36 pieces of heart throughout the land of Hyrule, and we're going to be going after every last one. Combine all 36 pieces of heart with the heart containers that we get from bosses, and our life count will eventually go up to 20 hearts, which is quite a lot, and definitely is going to be very useful to us going forward. Especially because there's a lot of things in the late game that can give us some trouble. Just going to let you go by. Definitely like to talk about some other stuff that's going on, but got some stuff over here about the farmhouse as well as the stables. As we saw from in the last session, Talon ran off in order to get back to the ranch and apologize to Malon. So what's he been doing ever since we first saw him? I'm awake already. What? Well, I'll be if it ain't the forest kid from the other day. By the way, thanks a lot for waking me up. It took some doing, but I finally got Malon back in a good mood. So, what are you up to today? Got some free time on your hands, you say? Well, how about a little game? These 3 cuckoos I have here are special super cuckoos. I'm gonna throw these cuckoos into that there gaggle of normal cuckoos. If you could pick out these 3 special birds from among the normal cuckoos within the time limit, I'll give you something good. If you can't find them, I'll win. You'll be 10 rupees. Wanna play? We're definitely gonna do this. You have 30 seconds. Alrighty then, get ready. Here go the super cuckoos. Start looking. Right away, we got a little mini game here. We've got a bit of time in order to check these various birds and locate the 3 super cuckoos that were thrown in by Talon. There's another. Just one more to find. I believe that one was thrown over around this section. So just want to check around these birds. This could be a bit of a tricky mini-game to do if you're not paying attention to where the cuckoos have been thrown. Golly, I'll be darned. It's plumb incredible. That's the last one. You found them all. Come on over here. Also, yeah, cuckoo is the Hyrulean word for chicken. Hey, you got the talent to be one of the world's best cowboys. How'd you like to marry Malon, huh? I mean, for me, she's a little young, but for Link, he'd probably be into it. Haha, I was just kidding, just kidding. I think you're a little young for that, aren't you? Ha ha ha. Oh, I'm proud to present to you a sample of our very own Lon Lon milk. You'll be energized the moment you drink it. After you drink it, you can bring back the bottle and buy a refill anytime you want. You got Lon Lon milk. This milk is very nutritious. Use it with C to recover your life energy. You'll recover 5 hearts per drink. There are 2 drinks per bottle. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to the C buttons and then use that C to take a drink. So yeah, this is why I definitely recommend doing the Super Kuko mission here. Because not only do you get that milk, but you also get a bottle. Bottles are definitely among some of the most important items you'll be picking up in this adventure. They have a lot of uses and can be used for so many different things. In this instance, we're able to hold milk with it, which is a pretty good potion. Definitely good for recovering health. At this point, we don't even have 5 hearts, so the amount of healing we could get from this milk is really good by this point in the adventure. Yeah, I believe we talked to you again, we could try the mission again. There's really no point to it, though. What? Hey, Hayden, if you're looking for Malin, she's right outside. Did you come here to play? Well, then how about playing the Super Kuko Finder game with me? Or do you want to buy some Lon Lon milk? Well, it be. So Lon Lon milk costs 30 rupees per refill. It's not too bad, all things considered. Although our wallet is a little small at this point, so it could add up if you're really looking to get some milk. Meanwhile, here in the stables, boy, aren't you a friendly fellow. I can't believe that I, the great Ingo, am working for this stump of a ranch. Because the owner's so lazy, I always have to do all the work around here. I, the hard-working Ingo, should be in charge, not that lazy bump Talon. Yeah, definitely a friendly fellow here. So, a little bit of trivia, but Talon and Ingo are actually modeled after Mario and Luigi from the Super Mario Bros. Series. Which is pretty fitting, since both Legend of Zelda and Super Mario were created by Shigeru Miyamoto. But yeah, that is about everything we can do at Lon Lon Ranch for the time being. We are going to need to come back here a bit later on in the adventure, especially when we pick up some more tools. But it's just nice that we're able to take care of that right now. Managed to get a new song, a piece of heart, as well as some milk in a bottle. So that was definitely very worth it. Alright, with that taken care of, I think our next destination is going to be where we were directed to by Impa. So we're going to be heading off to Kokiri Village. I really don't want to deal with these guys right now, so let's just hop on over here, across the bridge. Also just want to note this lone tree out here. There's nothing really we can do with it at the moment, but much later you want to revisit this tree for something that will be happening. And then I believe over here by this tree, we can shake some rupees down. Not much to do with this. Alright, so I want to go to Kakariko during the day, so I'm just going to wait out here and kill a few stall children. While we're doing this, I thought I'd talk about some stuff that has been going on. Wow, we are almost full when it comes to our rupee count. That's pretty amazing at this point. But yeah, last couple of days have been interesting. I know I took a pretty big break in between starting my Ocarina Time playthrough and the last couple of streams I did. I mainly just wanted a break for the holidays, and oh boy, holidays really haven't been too good. Like, up here in Ontario, the weather was just so rough, and it was like snowing for like 3 days in a row, starting on the 23rd, so sadly we didn't get to go through our Christmas plans to get to see all of our folks, but no, well, I'm just thankful that we were able to be safe during that time. But anyway, now we are finally at Kakariko Village. Ding dong, I'm a clock soldier at Kakariko. The current time is 7:30. Hello there, son. Zelda's attendant, the great Impa, opened this village to the common people. We have only a small population now, but someday this place will be as lively as Hyrule Castle Town. Oh yes, it will. Climb up the stairs at the north end of the village to find the trail that leads up Death Mountain. But you need the king's permission to actually go up the mountain. Very interesting. About we press onward. It's got some cuckoos around here, it seems. And some other folks that I want to chat with. I'm the boss of the carpenters that Impa hired to improve this village and make it into a true city. But young men these days don't have any ambition. Do you know what I mean, kid? My workers are just running aimlessly around the village and they're not making any progress at all. Even my own son doesn't have a job, and he just wanders around all day. They're all worthless, I tell you. Man, people these days don't want to do actual work, just want to be influencers and streamers. Yes, I appreciate the irony. So that tree here doesn't seem to have anything in it. However, we just have a lot of various stuff we can look around town and do. So let us go check out some of the things here and chat with the locals. All day long, we are working on many construction projects in the village. It's gonna take a while before everything is done. Our boss works us very hard. So yeah, let's check out the sights here. It's in this house. Hi, boy! Is this the first time you visited this village? A great woman, Impa, opened up this village to us poor folk. Well, make yourself at home. The food isn't ready yet, though. Oh man, that frickin' character model there. Some of the people in Hyrule look pretty decent. Others, I don't know, just the art style really doesn't do them too many favors. Break open that box there, there's another Kuko. And yeah, we're just gonna be looking around the village a bit and seeing what we can see. My little boy isn't here right now. I think he went to play in the graveyard. It's got a hint about a certain NPC we'll be meeting a bit later. Whew, now that we have 99 rupees, you can see that our rupee count is now green. That means that you now have that you've managed to fully fill up your wallet. So we are unable to hold any more rupees. Yeah, this game kind of introduced a mechanic where you can only hold a certain number of rupees, and then you have to find wallet upgrades to be able to hold more. It's a little annoying, but nothing that is really too bad. Anyway, we were told in order to come here with a letter from the princess. So we talked to this guard here. The road is closed beyond this point. Can't you read the sign over there? Eh? Oh, I see. You're just a kid and you can't read yet. Ha ha. Well, yeah, what do you think of this? Oh, this is surely Princess Zelda's handwriting. Well, let's see. Okay. This is Hayden. He is under my orders to save Hyrule. What kind of funny game has our princess come up with now? Okay, alright. You can go now. Just be careful, Mr. Hero. So by showing him the letter, he opens up the path leading to Death Mountain. By the way, Mr. Hero, if you're going to climb Death Mountain, you should equip a proper shield. It is an active volcano, after all. If you go back to Hyrule Castle Town Market, you should check out the bazaar. They sell the shield you need there. Tell them I sent you, and they should give you a special discount. If you think you're good to go already, don't worry about it. Now, I'd like to ask a favor of you. No, I don't expect you to do it just because of the great tip I just gave you. I'm just asking. Have you been to the Happy Mask shop that just opened in the Hyrule Castle Town Market? Everyone's talking about it. My little boy pesters me for a popular mask, but I don't have time to go there. So, could you go and get the mask for me next time you're in the market? If you don't feel like it, that's okay, but... well, I have no choice. This is my job. So, talking to that guard and opening the path to Death Mountain, is actually the trigger for getting to access the Happy Mask shop in Hyrule Castletown. So we'll want to pop over there sometime in the future in order to take care of some stuff that could be pretty useful. A job where you can make a lot of money without much effort. The only thing I can think of is thievery. Is that a bad idea? There seems to be nothing we can do in that shop for the time being, so we're just gonna leave it alone. Got this big watchtower here on the upper level of town. Nothing I really want to do with that for the time being, so we'll just leave it alone. And let's go check out a few other areas here. Dark, narrow, scary, well of free features. I don't know, seems like a normal well to me. Pretty whelming, if I do say so. Next I want to look over here. So we have the basic structure of a building that is going to be built eventually. They don't seem to be making much progress with it, however. But this is something we will want to remember for in the future. It's got a bunch of those carpenters still running around, and just wanted to check out what is over here. So welcome to the windmill of Kokiri Village. Oh, I'll be back for you someday. Hello, sir. Go around, and around and around. What fun, I'm so happy. I'm a music man who loves to go around and around, go around and run around. I'm trying to come up with a musical theme inspired by this windmill, going around and around and around. It's definitely nice to see you've got passion there, sir. Ah, boy, the stream is a little choppy at the moment. Give it a second. I think we are good now. Oh man, I hate it when that happens. Definitely gets me nervous about our stream sessions. There's about 2 more places I want to check out in town before we go take care of some more stuff I want to do here. For now, how about we go into this house and see what we can find? House of Skulltula.
We all look like this because of the spider's curse. If every spider of the curse in the entire world were destroyed, the curse would be broken. When you destroy a spider of the curse, a token will appear. Collect it as proof of your achievement. The number next to this icon on the quest status subscreen indicates how many spiders of the curse you have destroyed so far. When this icon displayed next to the name of the area on the map subscreen, there are no more spiders in that area. Look for them not only out in the open, but also inside the dungeons. Of course, this is just our dream. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you break the curse on my family, we will make you very rich.
So this horrifying fellow here is our incentive for killing the gold Skulltulas and collecting their tokens. If we go around here, we can see that they're not the only one who is cursed. Yeah, I'm cursed! There are a total of 6 people that live in this house who are cursed by the gold Skulltulas. So in order to save this family, we're going to need to kill a lot of these things. So for every 10 gold Skulltulas we manage to kill, that will free one of the residents of this house until we manage to free the 5th person. Then after that, we'll need to collect all 100 gold Skulltula tokens in order to free the head of the house. I'm just gonna say it right now, I usually don't go for all 100 gold Skulltulas because the rewards you get for getting 50 gold Skulltulas are pretty much the only thing I'm really after here. Because the reward you get for all 100 honestly isn't that good. Boy, that said, I actually did manage to get 100 gold Skulltulas in my practice run of this game I was doing earlier this week. Ooh, got some bugs here under this rock. So, yeah, I have been having a good time of that. Oh, man, we're gonna have to drink all this milk in order to collect these bugs. Come on. Nope, they're digging. No! You stupid bugs. Well, I can go inside a building in order to make them respawn, so that's not too bad. I wasted all that milk we got for nothing. Hello there. This used to be the Great Impa's house, but she doesn't live here any longer. It's now open to all villagers. You are free to go on in. This village used to be a Sheikah village, but the Great Impa opened it to everyone. So yeah, it's nice to give a lot of background to this village, with it once being the home of the Sheikah. And of course, we have Impa opening it up to the general public. One day you will be mine! Hello, sir. Hey, kid, do you always enter other people's houses without permission? Didn't your parents teach you any manners? My dad was a tree. Cut me some slack, buddy. Oh, well. Did you see a lady behind this house? She's going through hard times. Oh, well. If that lady asks you about chickens, you should listen to her. That we will, as that's going to be our next main objective in town. Sorry, I need to take a drink because I was talking so much here. Quickly want to catch some bugs in our bottle. You put a bug in the bottle. You can release it by pressing C. This kind of bug prefers to live in small holes in the ground. So, bugs are a pretty interesting mechanic in this game. They are mainly used in this game in tandem with the Gold Skulltula questline. So, you want to keep at least one of them in a bottle, as they'll be very useful going forward. What should I do? My cuckoos have all flown away. You, little boy, please help me bring them back to this pen. Sure thing. So this lady in this game is officially known as simply the Cuckoo Lady. However, a later game in the series gave her the official name of Anju. So that is probably what I'm going to be calling her for the rest of the game. So Anju here is having some trouble handling her cuckoos. So our objective here is to go all around the village and collect the 7 cuckoos that we can find here. Come here, buddy. Come on. Get back here. No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to grab my cock. I know what I said. And we just want to throw them all into this little pen here. Got a lot of these guys to find, and this would be a good opportunity just to talk about some other things that have been going on. While I'm also doing this, just as a warning, if you leave Kakariko Village or go inside a building, the Kuko locations will reset. So you will want to quickly gather them all up again in a single run before you do anything else. I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, one head up here now. And in order to get to that Kuko on the ledge, just want to fly over with a Kuko. Yeah, Kukos are actually pretty useful for a couple things. We're definitely going to see good use from them later on, as the Kuko's ability to carry you across gaps is definitely going to be helpful. Alright, we have you here, so I'm just going to ignore you for now and see if there are any other Kukos we can find up here. I'm pretty sure the next ones we're going to get... Yeah, we have one up here. And then the rest of the Kukos we're going to need to grab are going to involve some pretty strange maneuvers in order to get to parts of Kakariko we couldn't access before. So while we're just taking care of these Kukos around the village, I thought I'd talk about some other stuff that's been going on. No, 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 no! Oh, I was so upset that guy was by the door! Wait. never mind. I guess going into buildings don't reset the Kukos. Okay, but I'm pretty sure that if you leave the village, that will reset the Kuko locations. Where is this one again? Okay, you respawned over here. Go quickly grab you, and then get back to what I wanted to talk about. So, last couple of days have been interesting. Yesterday was a New Year's Day, and it was pretty nice. I actually got to spend some time with my folks that I haven't seen in a while, and it was nice finally giving them the Christmas presents that I intended to give them much sooner. And yeah, it was just nice to hang out with them. We went out for dinner. It was a good time. And yeah, it was just a very nice little thing we got to do. Alright, so now that we're over here, I want to very carefully throw these Kukos over this fence here in order to get them on the other side. Yeah, why do we throw the Kuko over the fence? To get to the other side, of course. So yeah, we had a nice dinner with our folks yesterday, and a couple other things that were happening around the New Year's. So on Friday, I went out and I went to see a movie called Puss in Boots: The Last Wish that was playing in theaters. And I definitely wanted to check this out because I've been a big fan of DreamWorks movies, and especially the Shrek films. So obviously getting to see another movie in the spin-off series is a very good thing I wanted to do. And very glad I did, because the movie was so good. Like, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is definitely a contender for one of my favorite DreamWorks movies. It was just so amazing. Like, the animation was so good, and the animation style itself was, like, very distinct and vibrant. The characters were all really good. Like, I especially love the story they have with Puss about him dealing with his, him finally accepting his mortality and his interactions with the other characters. It was so amazing. Thank you for finding my Kukos. I have allergies, so I get goosebumps when I touch them. For helping me, I will give this to you. It's fine glass and should be useful. Please take good care of it. So by helping out Anju here, you got an empty bottle. After you put something in this bottle, set it to C when you want to use the item inside. Very nice. What would Saria say if we told her we're going to save Hyrule? It's a very useful tip there by Navi. So if you go a while before accomplishing your next story objective, Navi will chime in and give you a hint about what you need to do in order to advance the story, which can be helpful from time to time, although oftentimes she'll just alert you a couple minutes after she already alerted you, so it can be a bit of a pain just having to hear her constantly remind you, go here, go here. So I can understand a lot of people finding Navi annoying, especially with how high-pitched her voice tends to be. If we go over here on the eastern side of Kakariko, we have the graveyard. It's a very interesting area that we will be coming back to from time to time. If we check this sign here, RIP, here lie the souls of those who swore fealty to the royal family of Hyrule. The Sheikah, guardians of the royal family and founders of Kakariko, watch over these spirits in their eternal slumber. Yeah, this is a pretty important area to a lot of the people around here. Hey, kid. Little kids can't go on the heart-pounding grave-digging tour described on the sign. Since I can't do that, I'm just imitating Dompe the Gravekeeper all day. But with my cute face, I'm not heart-pounding at all, am I? No, you are just a pretty cute and rambunctious little tot here. Okay, while we're in the graveyard, there are some things I want to go over here. And we'll definitely want to check them out at a later time. Because there's some stuff we can do here in the day, and some stuff we can also do at night. Namely, want to go over to this little dirt patch over here, the one with the hole in it. These little dirt patches are useful for quite a few things. Mainly, we want to drop our bugs by the dirt patches. And doing so will cause a gold Skulltula to pop out. So yeah, this is going to be one of the main methods of acquiring gold Skulltulas here. So whenever you see a dirt patch, be sure to find some bugs and drop them in. I believe there are a total of 9 gold Skulltulas that can be found in dirt patches. So definitely look out for them. You can easily knock out nearly a 10th of the gold Skulltulas that way. Meanwhile, around here in the graveyard, there are a couple things we're able to do here besides that. So if we try to interact with the graves around here, don't cause trouble, I'll tell Dampe. So during the day, this kid will be here in the graveyard, and he will explicitly tell you not to move the gravestones. So we're not able to do anything with them for the time being. So we're going to have to come here at night in order to be able to do that. However, there's some other stuff we can do over here. We examine this grave here. Royal Composer Brother, Sharp the Elder, RIP. Doing so will cause an enemy to pop out. Poe of the Graveyard, if you stare at it with Z targeting, it will disappear. So this fellow is what's known as a Poe. They're a special type of ghost enemy that will pop up all throughout Hyrule, especially in the 3D games. The 2D games used to have ghost enemies called guineas, but starting with Ocarina of Time, we have Poes, which are your typical lantern-carrying ghost. So yeah, all we have to do with this guy is just wait for him to be vulnerable and then just strike at him. And then once he's defeated, we can Royal Composer Brother Flat the Younger. We can cause his brother to spawn in. So I'm trying to talk to your brother. Yeah, you killed me! Unbelievable! Oh, what? You're not one of Ganondorf's men, are you? Because of my role as a ghost, I had to act like that. I apologize. Now then, let me introduce myself. I am one of the ghostly Composer Brothers at Kokiri Village. All the people in this village are born to serve the royal family of Hyrule. We brothers also serve the royal family, and were assigned to study the hereditary mystic powers of the family. Though we never could find out the power of the Triforce, we had almost completed our study of controlling time with the tones of ocarinas. Actually we did complete that study. We would have been famous if that hateful Ganondorf had not tried to steal our results. We could never let him reap the fruits of our research. That's why we gave our lives to protect the secret. Do you want to hear what I said again? No thanks. So by doing that, we get a little bit of information by talking with Shark's spirit. And now we also have his brother Flat to deal with. This really isn't too bad, just need to strike him with a sword a couple of times once they are close enough. And now we can talk to you. Yeah, I'm dead again! What, you again? Somehow you remind me of Princess Zelda. Are you saying I'm girly? Since you may have some connection with the royal family, I'll tell you a little more of our tale. Back then, people called us great composers because of the many musical masterpieces we wrote. But we brothers were not just composers. We had a mission to analyze the mysterious powers of Hyrule's royal family. Our names will be a part of Hyrule's history if we could complete our research. We kept our study extremely secret until we completed it. To tell the truth, each of us was studying a different song. One to summon the sun and another to summon the moon. If you were really sent by a member of the royal family, I will tell you about the results of our study. We inscribed it on the royal tombstone. As a messenger of the royal family, you should show your royal credentials on top of the Triforce mark. Do you want to hear what I said again? No, thank you. So yeah, we get a little bit of lore by talking with the Composer Brothers and finding out about what they were up to. They were researching some aspects of the royal family, and that naturally led to Ganondorf discovering the secrets for himself after he murdered the Composer brothers in cold blood. Oh, it's so chilling when you really look into it. Royal Family's Tomb. The crest of the royal family of Hyrule is inscribed here. So, this moment is a pretty key one for getting you aware of what you can do with your Ocarina songs. Namely, Zelda's Lullaby will cause reactions if you play the song next to a Triforce symbol on the ground. Definitely very useful. Whenever you see one, play Zelda's Lullaby, as it can cause a lot of things to happen. Like... this! We've desecrated the grave! Alright, let's hop in. So deep below the graveyard, we are now in the Royal Family Tomb. And we got some new enemies. Keys. When you get close to it, use that targeting. Even if it flies away, you can still target it. So Keys are bat-like enemies that have been with the Zelda series since the very beginning. In this game, they tend to roost along walls or ceilings. And when you get close to them, they will start to fly around and will eventually target you. And just want to very quickly take them out using whatever you have available. When they fly close to you, you can use your sword to take them out. But it's definitely recommended to target them from the distance using your fairy slingshot. Now that we're in this section of the tomb, oh boy, we got some new enemies here. I'm gonna very carefully creep up to you so that we can lock on and... Actually, can we get close to this one over here? Navi, could you please target? Navi! Navi, 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 target, target, target! Please! Navi, could you please target this guy? Re-dead. Its gaze will paralyze you. If it bites you, tap any button to escape. So these guys are zombies that have been reanimated inside of this tomb. These guys are total jerks. If they get close to you, they will latch on and begin draining your life, which is obviously not very good. But an interesting quirk with re-deads is that if you kill a re-dead, any re-deads in the nearby area will start to approach where their fellow re-dead fell. I'm not too sure about the exact purpose of this action. Whether they are approaching their fallen brothers with the purposes of mourning their fallen comrades, or if they want to devour the flesh of their own brethren. They're just very creepy enemies, especially with that scream they do if they spot you. Yeah. But yeah, we took those guys out and managed to reach the end of the tomb. This poem is dedicated to the memory of the dearly departed members of the royal family. The rising sun will eventually set. A newborn's life will fade. From sun to moon, moon to sun. Give peaceful rest to the living dead. This is an interesting poem, huh? Something is inscribed on the tombstone. It's the secret melody of the Composer brothers. Keep the sun song in your heart. You played the sun song. You've learned the sun song. Very nice indeed. Restless souls wander where they don't belong. Bring them calm with the sun song. So the sun song is definitely a very good one. Oof. Okay, so the re-deads here have respawned, which is a good moment to test this out. as that one text box was demonstrating there, well, it was describing and we're demonstrating now. Playing the Sun Song will cause restless spirits like the Redeads to be paralyzed, allowing you to easily take them out. For the record, there's no real use to killing Redeads. They mostly will only drop a single item that we are sadly unable to do anything with for the time being. So, we're just gonna leave those zomboys alone. Meanwhile, in the graveyard, now that we've played the song, it is now changed to nighttime out here. You can use the Sun Song in order to change day to night or night into day, which is very useful as there's a lot of stuff you can do around the land of Hyrule depending on the day, such as talking to this fellow.
Hey kid, don't mess around with the graves. I'm Dampe the Gravekeeper. My face may be scary, but I'm not a bad guy. Let me give you an advertisement for my side business. Dampe the Gravekeeper's heart-pounding grave digging tour. What's gonna come out? What's gonna come out? When I start digging, we'll find out. Do you want me to dig here? 10 rupees for one hole.
Sure. So Dampe here is running a little mini game here in the graveyard, whereby telling him to dig around these dirt patches, which we have all around the graveyard, you're able to get him to dig up certain things. Most of the time, he will dig up rupees. Sometimes, he'll dig up nothing. But there is one very important thing we're gonna want to grab here that he can dig up very rarely. We have plenty of rupees right now that I don't intend to use for anything else going forward, so why don't we spend them here and see what we can pick up? Ooh, we got a red rupee there, which filled up our wallet again. Very nice. So it's going to take a moment to have Dampe here dig up some things and see if we're able to get the one thing we need here. I remember in my practice run of this game I was doing a couple of days ago, it took me so long for Dampe to actually dig up the big prize I wanted, which was definitely kind of disappointing. I'm hoping we have better luck here. So over here we got 2 patches right back to back, so gives a good chance of getting something here. Yeah, another unfortunate thing with the grave digging tour is that Dampe moves very slowly. So it can take a while for him to get to a spot to dig at. And considering how many rupees you can carry at a time, yeah, it could be a little annoying. You could go an entire round of this just circling the entire graveyard and not find the one thing you need by doing the tour.
Nope, nothing here.
Also in the graveyard, there's a gold Skulltula up there. Unfortunately, it's too high up for us to grab. So we're not going to be able to actually collect its token. So we're just going to leave it be for the time being. I wonder how much time we're going to actually be spent with Dampe, because I do want to show this off on screen. Alright, buddy, dig here. Just more rupees. Definitely not getting some good results here. Alright, I'm gonna try until we can no longer afford this, because we have other stuff we can do in the graveyard and around town that I want to get done. But thankfully, we don't really need to worry about rupees at the moment. So we can just go ahead and spend what we want here. Okay, buddy, you can dig on this spot. There it is! Very rarely in the graveyard, Dampe is able to dig up a piece of heart. Which I must say, the fact that he digs up that particular item is pretty humorous, because there's a certain Brawl in the Family comic that parodies this scene with Dampe digging up a spot, and he goes, "Oh, you found a piece of heart!" And then Link starts to gag because he actually found a piece of heart instead of the item. But yes, anyway, now that it's nighttime, we're actually able to move a gravestone here. And by moving the marked grave here, you got a Hylian shield. Switch to the equipment subscreen, select this shield, and equip it with A. That's a very good item that we are going to be needing in one of the areas coming up. But yeah, you know this is the grave with the Hylian shield because it has flowers in front of it. Anytime you see a grave with flowers in front of it, that's a good indicator that you want to move it. However, there is another grave here in the graveyard we want to move. This one over here, which will have another hole for us to drop into. And down in this one, wouldn't you know it, there's another re-dead. I don't believe attacking these guys from range will do anything. Yeah, it completely absorbed the Deku Seed. Let's go ahead and play the Sun Song to stun this guy. This will make getting this particular item a bit easier. Alright, now that you're stunned, just go in for the kill! Typically, I would consider spin attacks to be very good for taking out re-deads. But anyway, now that we dealt with this guy, want to stand on this podium here, and then I believe we want to play the Sun Song again when we're up here. And doing so will cause a chest to spawn in. Ooh, that's a big chest. Gotta be something good in here. Yep, we got a piece of heart. Now we have 3 pieces of heart. So once we collect one more, we'll be able to get some more life, which I'm definitely excited for. Except that is pretty much everything we can do in the graveyard for the time being. I wouldn't recommend moving any of the other graves, because doing so will tend to cause a Poe to spawn, and I really don't want to do anything with Poes. Alright, let's move the bog out of our current inventory here, so I don't waste it later. But now that it's nighttime, there's a couple things we can do around Kakariko Village when it's nighttime. Don't think we can go into most buildings here, but if we look around this little wall here of the incompleted building, there's another gold Skulltula here. Aw, man. I was kind of hoping that we could actually stun this guy with a Deku Nut. But yeah, we killed that guy and get another Skulltula token. That is not all we can do, because on the side of the gold Skulltula house, there's another gold Skulltula. Let's go ahead and take that. And so nothing we can do over here. But if we go over here by the tree where the head carpenter was, we now have this guy. People are disgusting. My own father and mother are disgusting. You must be disgusting too. Jeez, touchy. Except by the tree where this mopey guy is, if we roll into the tree at night, that causes a gold Skulltula spawn. Ouch. Yeah, now's probably a good time to mention that gold Skulltula is actually pretty powerful. If you touch one, you'll take a full heart of damage, in contrast to most enemies, which usually do only about half a heart of damage. And while we're up here, on the side of this building, there is yet another gold Skulltula. We'll collect your token, and then, believe up here by this watchtower, there's a gold Skulltula up there. So I want to take you out with our slingshot and just climb right up. Destroyed a gold Skulltula. Nice. Managed to take out a lot of those guys. What's our current total? Aw, 12. That is good. We can already get our first reward from the Skulltula house. Want to see something cool? By jumping from the watchtower there, it is actually a shortcut that can lead up to this roof, allowing us to talk to this guy. Hey, good to see you again. I'll give you this as a memento. We get a piece of heart by talking to this guy. That's not the intended way in order to get this piece of heart, as you're meant to get it much later on. However, you're able to cheese it and get it early. And by doing that, we now have enough pieces of heart to get an extra heart. Very nice. Alright, next thing I want to do is head into the Skulltula house, now that we have killed at least 10 gold Skulltulas. As we will now be able to do something. If we talk to the head of the house here...
We look like this because of the spider's curse, but... Since you destroyed 12 spiders of the curse is starting to weaken. Did the kids who return to normal give you any rewards? You should know that the only way to become very rich is to destroy as many spiders of the curse as possible. There are some tricks to finding them all. First of all, you'll have to hunt at night. Secondly, keep in mind they love soft soil. Pay close attention to your surroundings. Please, we're counting on you.
So yeah, now that we have killed enough spiders, if we go over here... The curse has been broken! Thank you! Here's a reward for you! You got an adult's wallet. Adults are allowed to carry a lot of money. Now you can hold up to 200 rupees. Very nice. Please save my other brothers too. I'm sure they'll give you something a lot better. Will you do it? Yes, I will. I already stated in the last session I was going to get after all 100. But yeah, with that, we pretty much have everything I want to do in Kokiri for the time being. So, next thing I want to do before we get started on our main story progress, I want to head on over to Hyrule Field, as the next thing I want to do is go over to Hyrule Castle once more, as there is now something available to us there. Probably gonna need to wait for daytime, or we could just play the sun song in order to change the time. I don't know, it would be nice to gather some more rupees. So I could definitely see some rupees being useful coming up. There are actually quite a few things I am looking to purchase, so might as well do a little bit of grinding before we head in. Wow, that was just a normal stall child and he dropped a blue rupee. Pretty nice. Oh, that looks like a big one. So we can take those guys out instantly with a jump attack. Should definitely do that more often because jump attacks are really good for taking out a lot of enemies. Take that! Haha! Alright, it's almost daytime. Which is good. We managed to get our rupee count back up pretty nicely considering we spent a lot of rupees with Dampe. I am very thankful we actually got the piece of hearts at a good time. Oh. Yeah, because in my practice run of this game, it took so long for Dampe to dig up the frickin' piece of heart. I believe I made at least 2 full rotations before I finally managed to dig it up. God, it was annoying. But anyway, now that we are back here in the market, now that we talked with that guard over in Kakariko, we want to head over here to the mask shop. Hi! Welcome to the Happy Mask Shop! We deal in masks that bring happiness to everyone! How would you like to be a happiness salesman? I'll lend you a mask. You sell the mask and bring the money back here. If you want to read the fine print, take a look at the sign right over there. After you sold all the masks, you'll become happy yourself. Have faith. So we're able to rent masks here from the shop. Keaton mask, price 10 rupees. Keaton stuff is hot, hot, hot. We'll borrow the Keaton mask here. You borrowed a Keaton mask. Wear a receipt to show it off. Will be a popular guy with this mask on. So this is a neat little mechanic in this game. Masks. These are little items that you're able to just wear on you whenever you go out. And you get different reactions from people if you talk to them. I hate foxes. How rude. Yeah, what's your problem? How about you, Beardy? A mask. When I was a little kid, I also wore masks around. What? You say you can't imagine me doing that? Alright, now that we have the sun song, I actually want to change the time to night while we're out here in the... Hyrule Castle Market. Just play sun song over here on this end. And now that it's nighttime, want to head over here. As we heard from a certain NPC that she really likes her dog. And we were told that dogs tend to wander out at night. So you just want to approach one of the dogs and it will start to follow you around. And then want to go to a certain door. I believe it's this one. Yep, now that we're in here with this dog, we can talk to you. Richard! This is my little Richard! Thank you, thank you! I'll get this to you as a reward! You got a piece of heart. See, we're able to get a piece of heart for reuniting her with her dog. At night, it's dangerous to go out with all the wild dogs around. No, I wasn't warning you. I'm worried about my puppy. I don't know why I started to give her the Endai voice from Chowder, but it kind of fits. Now we got that taken care of. How about we change the time back to day? Otherwise, we can't leave this place. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to do in Castletown for the time being. So the next thing I want to do is take this Keaton mask to a certain NPC who was talking about masks. So yeah, this is actually the start of a pretty interesting quest. One that I would recommend doing a little bit later after you've killed a couple more Skulltulas. But we can get started on the quest line now. As for the particular mask we have now, the Keaton mask is obviously supposed to be based on a kitsune, which is a fox spirit in Japanese mythology. Definitely has a pretty striking appearance, though, as the mask's colors, as you can no doubt tell, is also very similar to the Pokemon Pikachu. I believe this is an intentional reference, since I believe Pokemon did come out before the release of Ocarina of Time. At least in Japan. So that is a cute little thing. But now that we have the mask, we can talk to you. Do you think you're in disguise, Mr. Hero? Oh? Is that a Key something character mask? I heard he's very popular recently. He's my boy's favorite. That Key something mask. If you don't mind, will you sell it to me? Sure. My boy will be very happy with this. You really are, Mr. Hero. You sold the 10 rupee mask for 15 rupees. You earned a little profit. Let's go to the mask shop and pay back the mask price of 10 rupees. That we shall. So, but quickly want to get started on this quest because it's also going to lead us to one of the new areas that I'm intending to go to during this session. So, it'd be very nice to get started on that. So we'll be heading all the way back to Hyrule Castle. While we're doing this, since we have plenty of time for it, I guess we could talk about some other stuff that's been going on. I guess I could say that I've been a little anxious for a couple things these days. Like, one of the Discord servers that I'm a part of, we've been running a sort of game the last couple of months, and we sadly have not had a session of that for quite a while due to real-world circumstances as well as the holidays coming up. So we haven't had a chance to do any sessions together for quite a while, but I have been tuning into a couple things every now and then. Oh great, you've sold it. Please pay back 10 rupees for the Keaton mask now. Payment received. So now that we sold the Keaton mask, we have a new mask in stock here, the Skull Mask. We're gonna go ahead and borrow that. You borrowed a Skull Mask. You feel like a monster while you wear this mask. Definitely gonna see some good use from this one. Alright, now that we have this mask, there is a particular area I want to go to now, so it's about time we get started on some more progress in the main story. So we're not actually going to be heading off to Death Mountain just yet, despite the fact that we were directed to by Impa. No, instead we are going to be returning back to our home in Kokiri Forest in order to take care of some things. This'll be nice. While we're on the way there, what's some other stuff to do? Talk about. So I have been playing some more Splatoon 3 recently, as I wanted to get a couple sessions in this week, because this weekend there's going to be a Splatfest. One that I am particularly happy about, because the theme of the next Splatfest is Taste Sensations. So we got Team Spicy, Team Sweet, and Team Sour going head-to-head in Splatfest. As for myself, I am Team Sour. As I know it's not a taste that a lot of people enjoy, but for me personally, I do enjoy sour flavors a lot. Like, I really love lemonade, and I tend to go for sour candies whenever I'm just looking for a treat. So that is the team I am excited to be on. Now that we're back in Kokiri Forest, this is our first time being here during the night, and there's a couple things I want to see here. Sorry I want to see you. Did she find you already? No, we haven't talked with her just yet. But now that we're over here, I want to head behind the Know-It-All Brothers' house, as there is now a Skulltula here. The Skulltula will only show up at night, so we couldn't pick this up the first time we were in Kokiri Forest. And while we're here, definitely a couple things I want to do, namely with our bottle. So want to head over by the shop over here. Hello. Saria said she's waiting at the usual spot. Usual spot, eh? Wonder where that could be. Go ahead and grab our blue rupee from that. And there's a dirt patch over here by the shop in Kokiri Forest. So we're going to go ahead and drop some bugs. Scoop up one of them for later, as these are going to be very useful here in the forest. Alright, come up here. Ow. How dare you? We grab another gold Skulltula from that one. So I don't believe that is all of the gold Skulltulas we can find in Kokiri Forest, but we are pretty close to getting them all here, so just gonna say that for a bit later. You have a cool slingshot, huh? You know what's cool about it? You can aim while holding down C and shoot by releasing the button. How cool! If you have the slingshot ready, you can use Z targeting to shoot while moving. Did you know that? Yes, I have, buddy. After all, I killed a boss with this thing. Anyway, I saw a blue rupee behind Mido's house. We're gonna go ahead and grab that. So I believe there are also chests with rupees in them inside Mido's house. So I could recommend popping in there if ever you're low on rupees. But we don't need to do that right now. But what we do want to do is head into this log up here, The scenario we technically could go to much sooner, but I was saving that for later. Welcome to the Lost Woods, a pretty interesting area that we're gonna get to see quite a bit about. So we go over here. Skull Kid. Is this what happens to kids who get lost in the forest? He may be our friend if we do something. We go up into this stump here and put on the mask. Well, let's get on the stump with the mask on. Hey, bud. Okay, I guess he's not going to do it right now because we're not friends with him. He's a little worried of us because, well, look at us. But over here, there's another dirt patch just south of where the Skull Kid is hanging out. Let's go ahead and drop some bugs. Scoop one up for later. And then wait for you-know-what to pop out. Yep, another gold Skulltula. I must say right now, I'm very thankful I've been having a much better time playing the game right now. Because the last time I was streaming this game, I had my buttons in kind of a weird configuration. So I reset the controls so that they are more similar to what I was playing with before. But over here we got a new enemy, Business Scrub. If you get close to it, it'll hide in the grass. The Business Scrubs are pretty similar to the Deku Scrubs we saw inside the Great Deku Tree. But they have a pretty specific gimmick to them. I surrender! To make your quest easier, I can enable you to pick up more Deku Sticks, but it'll cost you 40 rupees. Let's make a deal. I'm definitely taking that. Thank you very much. Now you can pick up many Deku Sticks. You can carry up to 20 of them. So it costs quite a few rupees there, but very nice. Now we can hold up to 20 Deku Sticks. Business Scrubs are a pretty interesting occurrence throughout the land of Hyrule. Whenever you encounter these guys, you can get some pretty good stuff from them. They can either sell you various items like Deku Sticks or Deku Nuts, or they can sell you upgrades to your gear. In this case, we're able to get an upgrade to carry more sticks. So definitely a lot more stuff we can do with these guys, so definitely want to keep that in mind for later. Meanwhile, there's a lot of cool stuff we can do here in the Lost Woods. We could have done this much sooner, but I want to head over here. There's a target over there. And what we want to do is hit the center of the target at least 3 times. Doing that will cause this Deku Scrub to come up.
Cool! You're great! You scored 3 perfect bullseyes! I have to give a neat present to such a wonderful person. Please take it. But Tui.
Your Deku Seed bullet bag has become bigger. Now you can carry more bullets. So now our max bullet count is now at 50. Very nice. So that is where you get the second of the Deku Seed upgrades. You could have gone this much sooner, but I just went for it second because we were intended to go here into the Lost Woods much later. Meanwhile, we go up on this stump, we have some more Skull Kids here. Let's bring out our Ocarina. Follow along with our song on your Ocarina. We'll lead you into it. So now we got a little mini game here where you have to repeat the song. That's the too bad. Come on, let's try that again. I got my buttons mixed up there for a second. We have a little mini game here with the Skull Kids. Simply play along to the notes they play, and you can get some good stuff.
That was quite a nice session. As a token of our friendship, please take this.
So by playing that, we get a green rupee. That's not all we can do here. Follow along with our song on your ocarina. We'll lead you into it. So down, right, A. So whenever I do this, in order to help me remember, I typically sing out loud the notes they give me. Just kind of fun. Down, right, A, up. It's typically how I try to remember this. Because sometimes just the combination of notes you need to do can get a little hectic. The notes they play is always randomized, so definitely want to be on the lookout for these notes when they pop up. Alright, so both of these end with an A. And also have a right in them, very good. That was quite a nice session. As a token of our friendship, please take this. So by doing that a second time, we get a blue rupee. Want to play some more? But here's the big one. Follow along with our song on your ocarina. We'll lead you into it. Right. Up, A, down. It's kind of the reverse of another song we're eventually going to have to play, which is kind of interesting. Up, A, down, right. Sorry if this sounds annoying. It's how I remember these notes. Up, A, down, right, left. This one actually incorporating every note that can be played on the ocarina. Alright, so it's just going up in notes from this part, which is pretty amusing. Alright, this one's going to be very easy to memorize right now. Just going up in pitch, and then going back down to the bottom. This is a really interesting pattern. Alright, one more note we gotta memorize. Alright, so it ends with a right.
That was quite a nice session. As a token of our friendship, please take this.
We get a piece of heart by playing along with the Skull Kids. That's definitely very nice. Alright, now we've taken care of that, let's head back up here. And want to just keep moving forward.
Hey, over here! Woohoo! Hayden, good to see you again. Listen to this. Woo, woo. After going through the Lost Woods, you'll come upon the Sacred Forest Meadow. That is a sacred place where few people have ever walked. Shh, what's that? I can hear a mysterious tune. You should listen for that tune too. Woo, woo, woo. Do you want to hear what I said again?
No, thank you.
If you are courageous, you'll make it through the forest just fine. Just follow your ears and listen to the sounds coming from the forest. Woo, woo!
So yeah, as Kaipora was alluding to, the Lost Woods here are a maze, and if you take the wrong path, you will warp back to the very start of the Kokiri forest. So you want to avoid that when you can. Easiest way to tell which direction is going to lead you in the right direction? Just listen to your ears, as the music will get louder if you're going down the right path. Meanwhile, just wanted to show over here, there's this big stone archway here. We are not going to be able to do anything over there just yet, so we're going to leave that for now. Also, in this little pond over here, there's some rupees we can grab down there, as well as another entryway. Unfortunately, we do not have the ability to dive deep enough to go down there. So we're just going to leave that for now. So while we're over here, want to head this way here. So over here we got another business scrub. Let's take you out.
I surrender. In return, I'll say you Deku nuts.
We do not need that. Sorry.
Yikes, I'm going home then.
And over here there is yet another place where we can unearth some gold sculptulas. Very nice. Let's go ahead and scoop up another bug for later. Yeah, they definitely include a lot of these guys here in the forest. Which I definitely appreciate, as shooting these guys down is pretty helpful. Alright, you win. In return, I'll sell you Deku Sticks. One piece, 15 rupees they are. That is very expensive, considering we can just get Deku Sticks for free by killing Deku Babas. Now, over here in this section of the grove over by the butterflies, we can hop down here and go to a special area. Whoops. Sorry about that. Hope you don't mind. So we head over here with all of these Deku scrubs. If you go to these guys when you have a mask on, they seem happy. All of the young Deku Scrub brothers agree. You look exactly like our sacred forest totem. As an offering from us, please accept these Deku Sticks. We'll also enhance your carrying skills. Abracadabra! Alakazam! You can now pick up even more Deku Sticks. You can carry up to 30 of them. Ooh, the things I can do with 30 Deku Sticks. So very nice. That is partly why I wanted to bring the Skull Mask here to the forest stage. As when you have the Skull Mask and bring it there, you can get a Deku Stick upgrade. There's a few other things you can get here, but we're going to save that for a bit later. What I want to do is head over this way and take this path over here. Want to head up here, and we made it through the Lost Woods to the Sacred Forest Meadow. Let us press on and encounter a new enemy, Wolfos. Draw it close to you and watch its movement carefully. Attack it when it drops its guard. These are some pretty technical enemies. They can be a bit tricky to deal with if you do not know the main trick to them. They will guard your attacks from the front, but if you deliver a jump attack right in the back, that kills them instantly. Very good. And now we have access to this section of the Sacred Forest Meadow. We have a little hedge maze here, which also has some new threats. Mad Scrub. If you get close to it, it'll hide in the grass. This is basically a more aggressive version of the Deku Scrubs we saw back in the Great Deku Tree. Guys can be pretty annoying. They'll just spit out a lot of Deku Nuts at you. So you want to reflect those back at them in order to get them out of their little bush. And then you can attack them with the sword to kill them off. Right, there's this guy. Come here. Now, these guys really aren't that much trouble, but I do like the autumn color scheme they have. It's quite nice to look at. Now they're up here. We are just about done the forest meadow. So over here we have this straight path with some more scrubs to take out. Come here, bud. Come on. Now that we got these guys taken care of, we can go up here. Ooh, pretty fancy. Got a mansion all the way in the middle of the forest. And wouldn't you know it, Saria hangs out here. I've been waiting for you, Hayden. This is the Sacred Forest Meadow. It's my secret place. I feel this place will be very important for both of us someday. That's what I feel. If you play the Ocarina here, you can talk with the spirits in the forest. Would you like to play the Ocarina with me? Sure. Okay, try to follow along with the melody I'll play. Are you ready? Follow along with Saria's song. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Down, right, left, down, right, left. Great, great. Please don't forget this song. Do you promise? When you want to hear my voice, play Saria's song. You can talk with me anytime. You've learned Saria's song. When you want to hear my voice, play Saria's song. You can talk with me anytime. Definitely really like Saria a lot. It's one of the few people in the forest who didn't immediately turn on us, so when Mida was like, "You killed the great Deku Tree!" She's a good friend. But yeah, with that, we have learned a new song. Saria's song is kind of interesting. One I don't typically use a lot, but it's still a good one. So the basic mechanic of Saria's song is pretty much making Navi's job redundant. Saria will grant you the ability when you play her song in order to talk with you, in order to be able to provide hints about what you need to do next in your adventure. So she is definitely very helpful if you don't really know what you're going to do next. You can talk with her pretty much at any time too, so just go ahead and play it whenever you need a hint. Meanwhile, down here, got something very nice. In the middle of this hedge maze, there was a hole we could drop into, which had a fairy fountain. Fairies are definitely very useful. When you run into one, it will instantly recover your health, which is very good. However, we can also store fairies in bottles. And this is easily one of the most useful things you can put in a bottle. So when a fairy is in a bottle, it makes it so that we can bring out the fairy at any time in order to heal us. However, there's another thing that fairies are able to do for you. So if you were to take fatal damage, as in completely run out of health in your hearts, normally that would cause you to get a game over. However, if you were good enough to have a fairy in a bottle, you just leave it in your inventory and it will be able to recover you should you take fatal damage. Very useful, highly recommend keeping a fairy on you at all times. Did you learn an Ocarina song from Saria? That melody seems to have some mysterious power. There may be some other mysterious songs like this that you can learn in Hyrule. If you hold the Ocarina with C where a melody is necessary, a musical staff will appear. I recommend you play a song you know. I also suggest that you play even when a score is not displayed, just like this. Hoo 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 hoot hoot hoot! Do you want to hear what I said again? No. Melodies you have learned will be recorded on the quest status subscreen. You should memorize those melodies. I love the animation of Kaipora turning his head 180 degrees. I'm pretty sure that's impossible for even owls to do, but it's pretty cool looking. Anyway, now that we've gotten that taken care of, I want to head back to a certain fellow we saw much earlier here. And over by the entrance of the Lost Woods. Now that we know Saria's song, we can do something with the Skull Kid over here. Just head up here now, and play the song.
You know Saria's song. We should be friends. Here, take this.
We get a piece of heart by playing that song to the Skull Kid. And now, we're on good terms with him.
Hee hee, under that mask. Aren't you that Kokiri kid? Quite an unusual mask you have there. Hee hee, I like it. It may make me look a little bit tougher. Hey, why don't you give it to me?
Sure,
Yowza! I'm gonna wear this all the time!
He just gave you 10 rupees for this 20 rupee mask. You lost money on that deal. Go back to the mask shop and pay 20 rupees for the mask. The difference will have to come out of your own pocket. Great. But yeah, by doing that, that actually causes a permanent change in this particular NPC. Let's leave the room and come back. Because now he'll be dancing up there wearing the mask we gave him.
My buddies really want this mask. Hee hee hee.
Well, have fun with that, buddy. Don't try to cause the apocalypse in another timeline. I quite like the design of the Skull Kids. I believe they're just based on your typical Fae pranksters in a lot of folklore. And they're kind of interesting, especially with them having those little duck bills for mouths. Quite a unique little design. I like them a lot. Anyway, with that taken care of, pretty much everything I wanted to do around the forest for the time being. So, how about we head back to Castletown, and then we can go get our money for the mask we gave. Hey, bud. Also, let's look at our current spider count, because we killed a lot. 16. Very nice. So we are pretty close to getting another upgrade from all those spiders we killed. So we're gonna go save that for a little bit, as our main objective is to head back to Castletown. Well, actually, it's to head to Death Mountain, but, you know, I got my own schedule I want to keep here. Now that we're out here, I'm actually gonna test the main use of Saria's song. Just to show off this mechanic. You want to talk to Saria, right? Sure. Hayden, this is Saria. Can you hear me? The forest is connected to many places. If you can hear my song, you must be somewhere that's connected to the forest. So that is a very interesting hint there. So in certain areas of Hyrule, they may provide an alternate way of getting back to the forest, as we saw from those particular archways we saw much earlier on. So definitely keep that in mind for later. Ooh, blue rupee. That's good. And the drawbridge is lowering, so we'll be able to get back to the mask shop. Goody. I'm looking forward for when we don't have to come here anymore, but there's still a lot of stuff we have to do here, sadly. So we'll just head back into the mask shop. And we have a new mask here. Oh, great, you sold it. Please pay me back 20 rupees for the skull mask now. Payment received. Yeah, sadly we got screwed on that deal, but we have a new mask available to us. Spooky mask. A sad wooden mask. We'll go ahead and take that. This is actually the mask that Redeads wear. So it's actually a neat little bit of folklore. I like to imagine that these masks are traditionally put on the faces of Hyrule's dead before they're buried, which is why we often see them on the faces of Redeads. Kind of interesting to think about. There is actually a lot of hints about Hyrule's culture that can be gleaned from a few subtle details shown from the world and from dialogue from various NPCs. That's all very good to keep in mind. We'll definitely be gleaning a lot of information about Hyrule's folklore as we progress onward in the game. Which also brings me up to another point that I really like about this game. So a lot of the areas we have seen throughout Hyrule in this game, like Kakariko Village, Death Mountain, which we're eventually going to see, the Lost Woods, Hyrule Castle, and all that, this game shares a lot of locations with The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. A lot of people view this game as like a 3D remake of A Link to the Past, which I really don't see that much. It definitely has a lot of callbacks to A Link to the Past, but structurally it is very different from that game, which is why I don't really view it in that way. Meanwhile, I want to talk to this kid over here now that we have the spooky mask.
Yeah, it's Dampé the Gravekeeper! Huh? Oh, it's just a mask. I get a gift and kind of fright from that mask that I get from Dampé. Will you give that mask to me?
Sure thing.
With this mask, I'll be just like Dampé. Here's my money.
You sold a 30 rupee mask to a kid for full price?
And he didn't mind paying at all.
Let's go back to the mask shop to pay 30 rupees for the mask. You can get the new mask model, too. Yeah, we'll definitely want to do that. But yeah, I do like a lot of the A Link to the Past callbacks here in this game. Just definitely very nice, kind of getting you the impression that these are the same locations from the different games, only across different timelines. Which, as I have stated before, they're all worthless, I tell you. No, that's not what I said. As I said before, Ocarina of Time is a prequel to the other Zelda games that came out before this one. So it does a good job of establishing a lot of things that were set in the previous games. Like going into the backstory of Kakariko Village, and how it used to be the home of the Sheikahs. And also getting to see a little bit of lore with the Lost Woods, and showing how the Lost Woods used to be the home of the Kokiri, as well as other creatures like the Skull Kids. It's very nice seeing like all these different locations in the different Zelda games all tying together like that. It's very cool. But now that we're back at the market, I swear this is going to be the last time we come here in this session. We got the mask shop again. Oh, great, you sold it. Please pay me back 30 rupees for the spooky mask now. Payment received. So now the last mask here, the bunny hood. 50 rupees with swinging rabbit ears. Gonna go ahead and take this. The hood's long ears are so cute. That they are. That they are. Sadly, this mask doesn't give us the ability to run faster. We're gonna have to wait a whole game before that happens. Yeah, what's your problem? What, you don't like rabbits? They don't like rabbits, apparently. What about you, buddy? Oh, a rabbit! Speaking of rabbits, I saw a strange man chasing rabbits around. We'll want to remember that for later. But yeah, we are not going to sell the rabbit mask just yet. Just gonna wait a little bit before we do that, as we're gonna get a much better reward if we wait a while before doing that. Namely, I want to wait until we have killed at least 30 gold Skulltulas before we trade in this mask. So yeah, it's gonna be a little while before we do that. So with all that said, I think it is finally time that we go up Death Mountain. We have kept Impa and Zelda waiting so long, but it's finally time to go up there. So yeah, we're probably going to have about a half hour this session left before we end things, so it'll be nice to get started on some of the stuff we are going to be doing going forward. We have certainly wasted a lot of time talking to people, but it has been for the benefit of the journey. We got a lot of good upgrades, we learned some songs, managed to get some extra hearts for us. It's definitely been very worth it. And this isn't really going into some of the other good stuff we can get on this adventure, because there is so much we can do. Death Mountain Trail. So we're finally heading up the mountain. Like I said earlier, Death Mountain is a recurring location throughout the Zelda series, and this is this iteration of this location. Red Tektite. Lock onto it as it jumps with Z targeting. Guys, I could recommend doing jump attacks to take them out, as that will knock them out instantly. So these guys can be a little irritating to take out normally. They will hop around and try to ram into you. But otherwise, really aren't that bad. You can take them out instantly with jump attacks. And they do drop a good amount of rupees, so that's good to keep in mind. Dodongo's Cavern. Don't enter without permission. Aw, but I want to bomb some Dodongos. Hey, you're not a rock. Talk to this fellow here. I'm one of the Gorons, the stone-eating people who live on Death Mountain. Look at that huge boulder over there. It blocks the entrance to the Dodongo's Cavern, which was once a very important place for us Gorons. But one day, many Dodongos suddenly appeared inside the cavern. It became a very dangerous place. On top of that, a Gerudo in black armor used his magic to seal the entrance with that boulder. If you want to hear more Goron gossip, head up to our city. Goron City is just a little way up the trail. It won't take much longer to get there, even on foot. So now we know that Ganondorf was in this area, and that he has done something to the Gorons here. We gotta take care of that. So up along the Death Mountain Trail, we can find more of these guys to talk to. They say that a beautiful fairy lives on top of Death Mountain. Don't you want to see her? Ooh, a fairy, you say? Be nice to see one that doesn't just say, hey, listen all the time. Death Mountain Trail. Yes, we're up here. Sadly, the path higher up on the mountain is blocked by these boulders. Can't do anything about them for the time being, so we'll just leave them be. But what we can do is we can go around here. You definitely want to remember some of the odd-looking walls as you're going through here, because that could be important for later. Natural Wonder, Bomb Flower. Danger, do not uproot. Hey, bud, what do you have to say? I'm standing here to shade the bomb flowers from the sun. Do you have a question for me? What are bomb flowers? Those plants growing over there are bomb flowers. They're mining plants that grow only on this mountain. They usually grow only in dark places like caves, so bomb flowers that grow in a place like this are extremely rare. If you have the Goron's bracelet, even a little kid like you could easily pick it with gonna want to remember that for later. So this bomb flower here, there's not much we can do with it right now, but want to remember that for later, as that'll be very important. Oh yeah, this guy also had something else to say. So how about we talk with you about that? Ask about Dodongo's Cavern. Did you see the cavern on your way here? That is the Dodongo's Cavern. Because the light inside is very dim, the bomb flowers, a plant unique to this mountain, grow like crazy in there. May want to check that place out a little bit later. But for now, want to head over here. Land of the Gorons, Goron City. Wow, a whole city on top of a mountain. It's a nice little place to check out, isn't it? Oh, I'm so hungry. Everyone feels faint from hunger because of the food shortage in this town. We're in danger of extinction. It's all because we can't enter our quarry, the Dodongo's Cavern. We Gorons live in a diet of rocks, and the most delicious and nutritious rocks around are found in the Dodongo's Cavern. Well, that seems like ancient history now. We become such gourmets, we can't stand to eat rocks from anywhere else. I want to eat the top sirloin rocks from the Dodongo's Cavern. So Gorons here are a pretty interesting race. This game is actually the debut of the Gorons as a species. So these guys, I believe, are mostly inspired by folklore of dwarves and giants, which are typically seen as mountain-dwelling folks that live underground and are usually associated with stone.
Hey, it's dangerous for a little kid like you to come out here. You might fall down. If I'm not mistaken, you came out here to eat the red stone. Well, too bad, it's not here. What? That's not why you're here? You're looking for a spiritual stone? You must mean that delicious-looking red stone that was once displayed here. I was so hungry, I thought it would be okay to just give it one tiny little lick. So I snuck out here, but it was already gone. I think Big Brother took it away. He always says that everyone is after that red stone. Big Brother shut himself up in his room saying, "I will wait in here for the royal family's messenger."
It looks like something used to be set in this stand. What is it, Navi? Impa said the spiritual stone of fire somewhere on Death Mountain. Yep, we're getting closer to it. Just need to figure out where it is now. So want to be a little careful here. A lot of things we can see around here in Goron City. Sadly, we're not going to be able to see all the sights here on our first visit. But it is nice just to kind of look around and see the sights around here. So over here, there's a lava cavern here. Not much we can do with that for the time being. If we head over this way, there's a big Goron rolling around here. Just gonna let you roll. And let's see. Don't think there is much else we can do around here. There's this wall here we can't really do anything about, so we'll save that for later. And just head on down here. So that gets us down to this level, which I believe is an area that will be pretty useful to us in a little bit. Not much else to see on this side. Hello.
I'm so hungry I can't think about anything but food. Spiritual stone? That red stone that was lighting up our city? Big Brother Darunia took it away. Then he shut himself up in his room and won't come out. Since then, it feels like all the lights in the city have gone out. Everyone seems so depressed. I want you to bring fire from Big Brother's room back here.
We will do that very soon. Don't worry about it. Hey there.
Oh? We don't get many visitors way up here. Where are you from? The forest? What's a forest? Eh? It's where a lot of trees and plants grow? Now I'm even more confused. Nothing grows around here besides the bomb flowers. We don't have seeds or nuts around here either. Even deku sticks are very scarce around here. I know a trick to conserve sticks. If you light a stick on fire, it will burn to ashes. Press A to put it away before it completely burns. By the way, I hit a stick somewhere.
I don't want to know where. Is it here? Yeah, there was a stick in there indeed. What do you have to say there, bud?
Big Brother has shut himself up in his room saying, "I will wait in here for the royal family's messenger."
Well, we're definitely very messenger boyish. You're standing on a soft carpet for guests. It feels so plush under your feet. Well, he said they would only allow people who know the royal family in here, so let's play Zelda's Lullaby. Alright, the path is open up, allowing us to go over here. Nice pad you got here, buddy.
What the heck? Who are you? When I heard the song of the royal family, I expected their messenger had arrived, but you're just a little kid. That's Darunia. The big boss of the Gorons really lost so much status to be treated like this by his sworn brother, the king? Now I'm really angry! Get out of my face now! Are you asking why I'm in such a bad mood right now? Ancient creatures have infested the Dodongo's cavern. We've had a poor harvest of our special crop bomb flowers, starvation and hunger because of the rock shortage. But this is a Goron problem. We don't need any help from strangers.
How rude.
This is a Goron problem.
You know what would cheer you up? Folk music!
Oh! Oh! Come on! Come on, come on, come on! Hot! What a hot beat! Whoa! Yeah! Yahoo!
Look at that, Fat Man Rumba!
Hey, what a nice tune! Just like that, my depression is all gone. Something just came over me. I suddenly wanted to dance like crazy. I am Darunia. I'm the big boss of the Gorons. Was there something you wanted to ask me about? What? You want the spiritual stone of fire too? The spiritual stone of fire, also known as the Goron's ruby, is our race's hidden treasure. But hold on, I'm not gonna give it to you that easily. If you want it so badly, why don't you go destroy the monsters inside of the Dodongo's cavern and prove you're a real man? That way, everybody will be happy again. If you do it, I'll give you anything you want, even the spiritual stone. I have something for you. I'm not really giving you this in return for anything, but take it anyway. If you wear this, even a little fella like you can pick a bomb flower using A.
Now you got the Goron's bracelet. Now you can pull up bomb flowers. Stand next to one and use A to pull it up. Nice little detail, the Goron bracelet actually gets added to Link's character model. So we're gonna have that on for the rest of the game.
Destroy the monsters in the Dodongo's cavern and become a real man. Then we can talk about the spiritual stone.
I really love Darunia a lot. Seems like there's a big, very gruff and serious guy, but the whole dance sequence with him is super funny. It lets you know that he's actually a very nice guy when you get to know him. Pretty silly too. Anyway, we're told by that one guy that he wanted us to bring fire back outside. So we're gonna go ahead and light some torches here. So if we light the torches just around here, that causes the big urn to start spinning here, which will be pretty important for something we're going to be doing. And now, want to take this light and go up here. Want to light these. Ow. Just barely missed it. Okay, let's try this again. Gotta be really careful with this one. Let's light this brazier, so we'll have that fire lit permanently, and light this one too for good measure. And now that we have these lit, want to take this light over here and ignite that bomb flower, which will destroy these rocks here, which is pretty helpful, as we can hear Saria's song playing through this cavern. We actually have now unlocked a shortcut over to the Lost Woods from Goron City, which is pretty helpful.
How is Big Brother? I see. By the way, do you know the music coming from deep inside this tunnel? We all like this music.
Yep, it is a very nice tune. Alright. So before I do anything else here, what I want to do is grab this bomb flower, now that we have the ability to pick them up, and I want to try throwing them into the urn in the center of this area. Just want to get this timing just right, because this thing can be a little tricky. Dang it, missed. Come on, start moving there. I think that's good. Yeah, this is a little tricky thing to do. But if you're very careful and throw a bomb into the head of the urn, which will cause it to spin around for a bit, and hopefully it landed on a neutral face. Damn it. What I want is for that urn to actually land on a different face. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up and throw you back into the urn. Dang it. Now. Yeah, the timing on this is a little off, and I think it's mostly chance whether you're actually gonna get the thing you want from this. Ow! Bad, 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 bad. Yeah, this is a very tricky little puzzle here. It's much easier to do later when you get a certain item, but I have the ability to do this now, so I want to do it now. Alright, just throw you in there. There we go. So yeah, this is a kind of awkward puzzle where we're trying to get the urn to stop spinning on a certain face. There we go. Doing that will cause it to spit out a couple rupees, and also spit out a piece of heart. So now we have 6 hearts. Oh boy, that is good. Very good indeed. Now let's take this little light here and use it to ignite this bomb flower. As doing so will blast open that brown wall there, allowing us to enter a shop. Welcome! So we got quite a few things we can buy here. Recovery hearts if we need them. Red potion, which now that we have bottles, we can actually afford to buy these. They can be quite helpful, instantly restoring your health. And we can also buy bombs here. Sadly, we can only buy these if we have a bomb bag, which we don't have just yet. And we could also buy a Goron tunic here for 200 rupees. A tunic made by Gorons, adult size, protects you from heat damage. Could be useful a bit later on. Are you going to clear out the Dodongos? It's a Goron problem, though. You're a nosy little kid, aren't you? Well, of course we'll be happy if you fix it so we can get all the bombs we want like we used to. Just let me warn you, though, Dodongos are scary creatures. They'll eat anything. So watch yourself and don't get eaten. Sure thing, bud. So I don't know if there's anything else we could grab right now. We do have access to bomb flowers around here. But thinking about some of the other things we could do, I'm not certain if we're going to be able to do anything else with these. Yeah, there's not much we can do here for the time being. Alright, but that's pretty much everything I wanted to do in Goron City for now. We are going to be coming back here a bit later to take care of some other stuff. But we got our main objective for this point in the story. We got to go to Dodongo's cavern and blast that sucker open. So I think the last thing we're going to do in this stream session is we're going to open up the entrance to Dodongo's cavern. So to do that, we pick up this bomb here and throw it down there. God, I hope this actually works. Nope. Alright. You know what I'm supposed to do? Chuck it too far. Watch out, guy. Okay, what I wanted to do is grab this. Let's pick it up. Pick it up, Link. Throw it. Alright, if we throw it there, that should be good. There we go. It blasts that big boulder apart, allowing us to access the dungeon. Woo! But that's not all that we have access to. I'm gonna quickly grab my bug bottle. We're gonna head over this way. Whew, careful there. Nice detail I like. You can actually see Kakariko Village down there from this point of the cliff. It's a nice little detail. I don't feel the need to talk to too many of the Gorons out here, especially since we've already talked to a few. Alright. Now what I want to do is go over to this little dirt patch, and we're going to drop a bug down here, as this will be important for our little objective. Doing so will cause a spider to pop out, getting us another token. So, what is our current total now? 17. We are very close to our next big reward, and it's going to be a really good one. So, definitely have that to look forward to. Now, before we go any farther, I just want to note one thing. Before going to the next dungeon, I highly recommend picking up a Hylian shield. You can buy one at the shop in Hyrule Castle Town, or you can find one for free in the Kakariko Graveyard. These are very good items for what we are going to be doing going forward. With that said, this is a good stopping point in our adventure. We got a lot done throughout the land of Hyrule, and have opened up the way to the next dungeon. So yeah, this is a nice place to end things here. So the next time we reconvene in the land of Hyrule, we'll be going into Dodongo's cavern and taking care of the threats inside. So until next time, have a good day, and take care.